Thank you for taking your time out to invest in your financial success, right? Because a lot of times we are really adamant about other things in our lives. Like when we want to lose weight, what do? We go to the gym, we do what? Change our diet. Some of us get surgery. We do like these different types, the injectables, right? You got Wegovy, Ozempic, right? There's tons of things that people do to lose weight. They're like, this is what I want to do. So I'm actively pursuing, trying to change my habits, right? But when we talk about finances, we don't do that. We just assume that if I make more money, I'm going to be okay, right? Or people go, oh, I just get a job, I make money, and that's okay. We don't actively pursue education, strategies, and techniques to help us manage and understand money better, right? So my goal is to help other people understand how to use money, how to leverage money, right? And understanding how money is used. And so with my own personal journey, being in the tax space for over 12 years, I love talking to people. And talking to people has helped us, have a really successful tax business. And so with that, I realized that people have no idea about their money, right? They're like, oh, from the people that make 20,000 to the people that make 100,000, they have the same complaint. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money. And so, prime example, I had a client and he makes $97,000 and he paid nothing in his taxes. He paid zero in his tax debt. He filed exemption. And I said, listen, what's going on? Why, you're going to owe the IRS a lot of money. You're single with no kids. And he's like, well, I need my money. I feel like they take too much money from me. I can't live off of that. That's not enough. I said, well, not enough is subjective. I have clients who live in California just like you who make $50,000. And they make it work. Do they have the most glamorous life? Maybe not, but it's subjective. But you are in the top 1% than most Americans, and you are complaining to me that it's not enough. That's an internal situation. That's not external. So as I was having these conversations with clients over and over, I said, okay, I need to do something. I need to do something to help people. So I started this financial empowerment workshop. It's a three-part series where we talk about money, right? How we feel about it, our emotional connection to it, right? So the way you feel about money is why money controls you, right? Why we don't have the financial discipline to not wear our value on the outside or what we drive or the house or the car we live in, right? That's emotionally triggered. And that's how money gets the best of us, right? Because it's emotional, how it makes us feel, right? But that's not how money needs to be used. It's a vehicle to help grow and make money for you. So owners that came in that had more than 6 figures in their account really didn't care about money. They weren't connected to it. They didn't have this thing like, I need to look a certain way for money. I need to drive a certain car, right? It was like, I'm using this money to make more money. It's a tool. It wasn't like, oh, I need to have on Gucci sneakers, even though I have on Gucci sneakers, but I budget these out. These are 3 years old, okay? These are 3 years old, okay? And my outfit is from Zara. So I do high and low, okay? I budgeted, and I am more disciplined than I've ever been in my life in my 43 years because I had an issue with money. I would overspend. I'm talking from experience, okay? Do you hear me? That's not it used to be a problem. I used to be emotionally triggered. I used to buy whatever. Money could not sit in my account. I couldn't have a savings. I would always spend it. And I just thought if I made more money, that would be it. I just need to make more money. Right? What dysfunctional mindset is that, right? So, but that's what I had to change. And I had to realize that it's not about how much money you make, but how much you keep, what you can manage, right? And so, becoming a good steward of God's money. What I had to understand is that it's not my money. It's God's money. I can't be so emotionally connected to it that I need to do all the things I want to do, and I don't have enough to do what God wants me to do, right? And so that really helped me. I'm a spiritual person, so God is weaved in and out a lot of the stuff that I do and say. So Luke 16:10 says, whoever can be trusted with very little can be trusted with much, and whomever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much. So if you have not been trustworthy in handling worldly wealth, who will trust you with true riches? Right? And so when we think about that, the Bible is almost like a SOP for our lives, right? It's a standard operating procedure. And God talks a lot about money. And a lot of times we go to the Bible for social things. Oh, I need to get married. I can't have sex before marriage. I shouldn't drink. I shouldn't covet someone else's. I shouldn't kill, steal, rob, and destroy. But yet we're flagrant with God's money. So we need to have discipline. God said, if I can't trust you with little, then I'm not going to trust you with much. So sometimes when we look at money, we think I just need to make more, but we're not managing what God has given us today. And it's in Luke 16. It tells you, why would God bless you with an abundance? Right? If you can't manage what you have. And I am a true testament to that. I stand here today before you able to manage 6 figures without my husband here on my own by myself. But if you would have met me maybe 6 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to do it. I was triggered. I couldn't manage the little I have. I didn't have a budget. And I wasn't sticking to it. I wasn't holding myself accountable, right? And I kept moving the goalposts. Oh my God, it's just a little lipstick. Oh my God, it's just some eyelashes. Oh, it's just this cute little dress in H&M, right? But the cute little dress in H&M went to several dresses, right? Because the little bit adds up, right? So we want to be good stewards of God's money, right? And so I always say it's not a money problem, it's a management problem. It's a management problem. So a part of being here today is helping you manage what you have, putting it in the right categories so that you can grow it and use it, so you can have the financial freedom that we all talk about. And one, just to give you an example, Elon Musk, right? This is a typo, not in 2019, but for up to 2019, Elon Musk, who most of you know is independently wealthy. He comes from money. And he is the person who transitioned EV vehicles, electric vehicles. He's known for the Tesla, right? Really pushing industry where we all now, most people have no problem, right, driving a hybrid vehicle, right? His net worth, this was supposed to be an exercise for you guys. Google his net worth. How much is he worth? Let's get that number. Amazon, next day, 3-day, 4-day, revolutionized retail. Only lived off of 81,000 for 2 decades. Now, is his company worth a lot more? Absolutely. But what did he do with the extra, the access? He put it back into his company, he said. I wanted to have the best company. I put my money, the access, into the systems, into the logistics, into the marketing, into the employees, while I lived off 81,000. When he could have afforded to pay yourself so much more. You know what I'm saying? So even as people obtain and get more wealth, they don't increase their lifestyle and their salary. That's another misconception. Because money is coming in, that doesn't mean that you then increase your expenses. That's where the disconnect comes from poor people, which is a mindset and monetary value, transition into a wealth mindset. And that's the change where we, as poor people, right, with a poor mindset, can't get that part out of it. Once we start making more money, we're emotionally connected to buying the thing we should buy to support our being successful. What that looks like. What success looks like, I should look like that. Where Jeff Bezos said no. I know my company is now worth $10 million. I'm still going to put myself on a budget and only pay myself $81,000. The excess, I'm going to put it back into my company. I'm not going to wear it. I'm not going to drip it all over me because I need to have a reserve. I'm really trying to push my business forward to the point he's a leader in his industry. He's a billionaire. But if he didn't have the discipline and the wherewithal to go, it's not about me. This is God's money. It's not about me. It's about me. He employs literally thousands of employees. Is that not doing God's work? But if he was selfish and said, well, I'm going to pay myself, I'm going to use it and live off $2 million a year, he wouldn't have the access for logistics, for warehouses popping up all over so people can get their products same day, to invest in good people, right? So sometimes our small businesses can't grow to be bigger businesses because we don't want to invest in people. We invest in us. So now you can't hire the really good videographer or the really good receptionist or the really good tech guy or the IT guy. You want to nickel and dime them. But those are the people that can take your business forward, right? So being a good steward of God's money, right? Putting himself on a personal budget to reinvest the excess into his business, right? Okay. So the one of the main things that we're going to talk about is setting up a budget is you need to know how much money you bring in weekly or monthly, right? Ask yourself that question. How much money do I bring in on a regular basis? If you don't know that, that's where we need to start, right? It's like, what does that number look like? And if it's zero, then we need to start, how do you get money in on a regular basis? You can't grow wealth, you can't be successful, you can't have the financial and time freedom if you don't generate money. It's really that simple. And if you're not generating money, then you need to ask God, well, what is holding me back that I can't move forward to make money? It's something in my head that's not allowing me to do the things to make money and move forward, right? It's a reverse mindset that keeps most people kind of back. I worked in retail. And so I would buy everything. You know how it's like when, I'm not a drug dealer, never been a drug dealer, right? But people say you can't get high in your own supply, right? You hear that out there. Well, I was getting high off my own supply. I was the retail manager buying everything in the store. I was getting high off my own supply. I'm like, they were like, oh my God, you look so cute. And in my head, I would be like, well, if I wear and look like the product, more people will buy it. Right. Well, kind of, but where's the budget for that? It has to make sense for that. And so I was dysfunctional and I would overspend. And so I was living paycheck to paycheck, spending money. And also I liked the feeling of people telling me I look cute. That's an emotional attachment. I like that. So then I had to fix that. Why do what people say about me, why is that a trigger? Why am I chasing that high? And it's putting me in the hole in my bank account, right? So a lot of times the things that we do come from an internal place, right? So, and most times when we finally get to a budget, right? The budget is really internal. When people talk about self-esteem, how effectively do you manage money? That's all the budget is. The budget says, how much does it cost to be you? You need to know that, right? Why do you overspend? The people know that you only make a certain amount, but you don't hold fast. You don't hold to it, right? Your needs versus your wants. And do you stick to the budget? So this is where we do a little exercise for yourself. Write down your needs versus your wants. So you could do on a separate piece of paper, write down the things you need. You need food, you need water, you need electricity. What do you need? Write down your needs. Okay, so, all right, so good. Now, how much does it cost you? Now, mind you, we do have a worksheet in here. Let me see it's on here. I know it's on here, so we'll skip to that too. So these are some key financial mindsets that, you can take a picture that really helped me change how I view money. And one of them is the author from Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And he says a business budget, he says a business budget will help you access your expenses, income, and the overall performance of your business. He basically says financial freedom is freedom from fear. And about fear, we want to think about, what am I fearful of? What is holding me back that I'm not doing? And so I would literally pray on this, and I would go, God, I want to be financially free. I want to have time freedom. I want to spend more time with my family. I want to be able to help and give back, but what am I fearful of? What am I not doing? Right. And I always found myself back to the same point that I didn't want to be visible. The thing that I used to crave, like people's attention, now I don't want it now, but I know that's what I need for more financial freedom. I need to be more visible. I need to put myself out there. I need to sell my services. I need to tell people what I do. So that fear was holding me down, right? And I said, okay, well, Farah, you want a certain lifestyle. You're capable, but nobody knows it. Nobody knows you could do what you say you could do, right? Or are you afraid that you really can't do what you say you could do? Are you a fraud? Maybe you really aren't this person you're claiming to be. Which one is it? And so I had to get myself together, go, no, I really know my stuff. This is really a thing. No, I am who I am. Okay, so then you're fearful of what? God didn't give you that spirit. So get that together. What are you fearful of? The next mindset is from Will Rogers. Too many people spend money they earned. I earned this. I'm working hard to buy things they don't even want. You think you want it based on what's being advertised and sold to you, right? To impress people that they don't even like. I was like, you're trying to prove something to people that you don't even know or like. Why, right? And then money is something we choose to trade our life energy for, right? So when you think about, people say time is money, right? It's not. The money is the time. The time is the currency, because we can't get back time. You can always get more money, but you can't buy back your time. So you're trading. The more money I make, I could buy back some of my time, and I could do what I really want to do, which is be with my family and vacation and do the things that I want to do. I don't want to work all the time, but I do it. Why? Because that's how I make money, right? Are you ever at work and realize you much rather be at home with your family or off on that summer? Day-to-day of trading work for money is how we afford to enjoy the important things in our lives. When you save money for a better future, right, where you're not bogged down by debt, you're able to choose the life you want. And so people work themselves over and over and over and over again because they're inundated by debt, because they're controlled by buying things that they really don't need or don't serve them. And so we have to cut the umbilical cord to fear, impressing people, and being in debt. It's one of the three things that we really need to get, that we have to cut the cord. Being fearful, spending things on stuff we don't really need to impress people that don't serve us, and understanding that time is not money, right? That money is something we choose to trade our life energy for, right? That we have to unrelease the debt so that we don't feel like we have to overspend. So the same person who makes 50 grand in California, who has a better quality of life than the person who makes 90 grand, is because they're not inundated with debt. They're not buying things that don't serve them, and they're not fearful. It's like, I can live in a ranch. I don't need to live in a $2 million house. I'm happy with what God has given me. I'm being a good steward of what God has given me. Now, that doesn't mean you don't have ambition and drive, right? It doesn't mean you don't have goals, but you want to be thankful and steward what you have, and not constantly inundate yourself with debt and emotions and things that keep you on that rat race, because that's not happiness. That's not happiness. All right. Susie Orman, she was my favorite. I used to watch her years ago. That's why I knew I always should have been in the finance industry, because I used to watch Channel 12, PBS, when I was like 17 years old, watching Susie Orman. She's always been, my mom would be like, what are you watching? I'm like, Susie Orman? A big part of financial freedom is having your heart and mind free from worry about the what ifs of life. And so that's a part of that fear a little bit. The what ifs. What if this happens? What if that happens? I need to be so financially free that whatever happens, I have it. The what ifs can be a major drain on your energy and weigh you down. It's fear, and anxiety creates, the what ifs create fear and anxiety, right? What if this? What is this? What if I lose my job? What if someone in my family gets sick? What if there's an earthquake or a fire? Thinking about it can be terrifying. Being able to put some money aside bit by bit for emergencies and feeling that financial freedom is what finally gives you peace of mind. So the what ifs, right, that create that fear and anxiety, you can manage it by budgeting and being disciplined. I'm going to take $200 and put it away. And I'm going to be so disciplined that I'm not going to touch it, right? And so that's another financial mindset, that people take that what if and it's like, oh my God, what if this happens? Or what if that happens? Right? I need to do all the things, and they're driving themselves kind of crazy a little bit, but not enjoying the journey. Right? So sometimes people think, if I keep doing this thing, eventually I'm going to get to where I need to be. And then they miss out on the journey of life. Right? Like most people who like, I can't wait to retire. I work and work and work. I just can't. Well, that's 65. So you're not going to live until you retire? Right? You have to live life, but just put some provisions aside little by little and be disciplined, right? They think they're going to fail. Why? Because they didn't educate themselves. I'm like, it's too risky. I'm not going to do that, right? Oh my God, I didn't put anything away for emergency. And so all these different things hinder them from doing the very thing that they want to do to give themselves financial freedom. So do the one thing you think you cannot do and fail at. It's like fail fast. The more you fail and you rebound, you learn from each failure. Well, you're supposed to, right? You're supposed to learn from each failure. And by the time you fail 10 times, the 11th time, it should almost be perfect. Now, it could be 24 times. It could be 5 times. So it's not a number on it. It's basically once you're able to basically get back on the horse and keep yourself going and recalibrate, you're like, dag, this is what I'm going to do different this time. Okay, I'm not going to do that this time. It's almost like dating, right? Or you're like, okay, I know I'm not going to date that guy. The next time I'm not going to do this. The next time I'm not going to do that. If I hear him say this, I know that's a red flag for that, right? It's the same thing with money and business. I screwed that up. I overdrew on my account. I didn't take care of my bills on time. Guess what? Next month, I'm going to do different. I'm going to learn from the failure, right? And so you will stumble. Life is not a straight line. Things come up, and there are months you'll be back in the red. The best thing to do is not to be too hard on yourself. Forgive your misstep, recalibrate, and keep moving forward, getting back on the horse, right? Getting yourself back on track. That's the main thing, is that once you fail, you want to do it again, okay? So I journaled a lot. So this past 3 years was really tough for myself and my family. We went through a scandal, right? Not to everyone, but to us, right? And so our business had some issues. We were criminally prosecuted for fraud. And that was like the biggest thing in my life that I could possibly think of. I was so embarrassed. I was humiliated. And I didn't know what to do. So I crawled inside of myself. I wanted to like live under the bed and not come out. But God said it's something bigger here. And you can't do that, right? You have your family, you still have your business, and you have to hold your head high and keep going. I'm like, well, how do I do that, God? How do I do that? I didn't plan to be in this situation. And so I journaled a lot. And so at this time, leading up to this, we knew that there would be some financial hiccups. So I said, well, God, prepare me. I still want to provide for my children. What do I do? How do I keep my employees? How do I keep my business going? I know I'm going to have to let some things go. God, prepare me. What do I do? And so those financial concepts I talked about was really real. I had to prepare myself. I had to read. I had to like educate myself on how to manage money, how to now separate the fear, because I needed to manage large sums of money on my own without my husband, who is currently sitting in a federal camp today. So I had to figure this out. How do I move the business forward when I don't want to get out the bed? How do I do that? And so this worksheet helped me. I would write in my journal a lot, different concepts, and I would talk to God and help me remove the fear. So basically, this is just like a declaration that I want you guys to take in yourself. I will read it, and then you just insert your own name. I, Farrah Collins, hereby declare that I am no longer a slave to my financial fear, because that's what the problem was. I was like fearful of what is this going to look like. And God, I'm like, am I not going to be able to take care of my bills? I'm not going to be able to take care of my family. God, what does this look like? Are we going to have any clients? Does everyone turn their back on us? I was sitting in so much fear. And the fear was crippling me. God said, that's not where you are. I didn't give you that spirit. I already died for that. That's not for you, right? I forgive you the moment it happened. And so this like declaration, I put it together by using different things I would write in my journal, right? I would say, I hereby declare that I'm no longer a slave to my financial fear. I acknowledge that my ego created fear to lead me to believe that where I am now is in a safe place for me. That this is a lie, and what was a typo? And I am renouncing financial fear because it is keeping me from breaking through in my life and my business. There is a reason why God, the creator of the abundant universe, where I live, breathe, and offer my gifts and talents, advises me to fear not more than 365 times in the Bible, and I have to decide to take heed. So fear not is repeated, one of the top phrases repeated in the Bible. Fear not, because God knows that through our journey we will be fearful. And so I had to go, and that was the thing that kept showing up. People would invite me to places and I wouldn't go because I was embarrassed. People like, won't you come out? You don't go out. You don't do anything. I'm fearful. I don't want to go out. But God said, fear not. Why are you fearful? And so from this day forward, I will no longer allow financial fears to govern the decisions I make to move my life and business forward. I have served fear its walking papers and removed its name from the company directory, letterhead, and website. Fear no longer lives here anymore. Fear will not dictate who I am or what I become on my journey toward building a business that serves me. Now that there is a vacancy at the company, I've had decided to stand up and step into my rightful position. And I have decided to do the work that is required of me to experience a breakthrough at every level of my life, because the truth is, I can afford whatever I decide and desire. Oh, there's Tia. I am not foolish enough to believe that I won't feel financial fear again, right? So, financial fear is a real thing, right? And so I mentioned that a part of me being able to be here today was accounting that, hey, you might be fearful again. You may experience financial fear, and how do I overcome that, right? However, when presented with financial fear, I will be quickly reminded that fear simply fights every alternative to reality. I will validate that there is no evidence to support what I am fearful of. And so I am moving boldly toward courage, love, and abundance in every facet of my life and business. So I wrote this for you guys so that you can write it, to renounce financial fear. So you can put your name in there and sign it. And so that was the thing that helped me get through this past couple years, as I was able to take control back and remove some of the fear, right? Because that was a big thing. How am I going to get through this, right? And so I had to face it, right? I had to acknowledge what was happening, and I had to prepare for it. And I prayed, God help me, because I did not know what it was going to look like, right? I didn't know what was on the other side. And so I was able to kind of use these different concepts to get me to the other side. And so I'm able to stand here today and say that, I'm still able to keep my business running and move forward and not be emotionally triggered on what happened. So, someone. I think I saw someone. Yeah. All right. So you can use this packet. Are you here for mail? I know you're here for the workshop. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. I am. Oh, okay. Cool beans. You can sit somewhere over there. Let me grab a packet for you. All right. So the part is that we're getting into is budget. So the first part of it, we talked about different mindsets, right? How people look at money and view money. And so this part of it, we're talking about the actual budget, how to set up a budget for you to see kind of where your money is going and where it should go. So this helped me a lot. Like I talked about, what was happening in my life the last few years, and that I had to stick to a tight budget because money was going to change. It was going to be adversely affected, right? And so when you're used to having a certain amount of money and that shifts and change, you have to be aware of it. You have to know what your numbers are. And so setting up and redoing the budget is renewed on a regular basis based on how much money you bring in. It's not a stagnant thing that stays there. It's not like, oh, this is my budget today, 2024. It could change every 6 months. It changes based on the regularity or the non-regularity of how much money is coming in. So you need he's going to print out something for you, but basically the first thing we did is write down your needs versus your wants. And so now you're going to write down how much money you bring in, right? You should know that, how much money you bring in. So this is the activity. Right? So write down how much money comes in on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis. If you're like, well, it can fluctuate, it's about this, right? You should know that, right? So everyone write that number down. That you spend your household, is there daycare, bills, your rent, your mortgage, your insurance, right? Want to control, right? So I know pre investigation that our monthly bills were about $55,000 a month. That included rent, payroll for the year was about 45 to 50 grand a month. After, right, and I knew income wise, we generated almost $125,000 a month. So that was a surplus. But when I started to lose income, then I needed to what? Decrease my expenses by almost 60%. I had to reel it down because I did not know what the total impact was going to be. I didn't know what was still going to be sustainable. So I had to reduce as much as I could possibly reduce. But I knew those numbers. So today I go, okay, well, my monthly overhead is about $4,500 a month. If I include my personal household bills, right, I'm up to about $8,500 a month. If I include my mortgage, I'm going to just round up at this point because I do need a buffer, right? You want to have an extra buffer, but we're going to talk about that. But you want to know the numbers, and you can always know for me personally, because I'm in the tax industry, our industry is changing. Why? Because the economy is changing. Employees are changing. You're not employees anymore. Most of you are now going to gig employees. Most of you are independent contractors. So most of you don't get a W-2. Majority of Americans pre-COVID were employees and worked at a job. They filed taxes every year because they had to. That's what they thought they should do. During COVID and after COVID, a lot of Americans didn't go back to their job. And they began doing Uber or Lyft or doing contracting jobs where they were getting cash via Cash App or Zelle or PayPal, right? And a lot of that income is undocumented. And so people aren't filing taxes as much. IRS just put out a report that they are behind, people are not filing. Why? Because they're independent contractors. They're not filing the money, A, because they don't want to file the taxes and pay, and B, some of them just don't know. They don't know. They're like, well, I used to work at this company, and now I'm an independent contractor. I work for Uber, and I made $20,000. Uber didn't send me a 1099. Maybe I do nails or sell on the side. Most people Cash App me. Cash App is not sending me a 1099. So I really don't know how much I'm making, and I don't even know how to file this. What is this? So our industry is changing. So that means I always have to be on top of my budget. I always have to educate myself. And we talked about that, being in the know of what's happening in your space. And so budgeting is a big part of that. So we got our numbers. I did enough talking. So we know how much we made. We know how much comes in a month. And we know how much our expenses are, right? We totaled up everything. We got an idea. Okay. So when we do simple math and we subtract that, are you in the positive or the negative at the end of the month? And that's what happens. You're like, wait, I should have a surplus of money here. I should have money here. Well, wait a minute. What's happening, right? Right? Are you in a plus or the minus? You're in a plus? All right. Well, that's good. At least y'all on paper in the plus. At least we on the paper in the plus. But we know you're like, because that used to happen to me. I would be like, oh, I live with my mom, and I was a retail manager, and I used to make like $2,400 a month. Well, I was in college and school, and I lived at home with my mom. I didn't pay rent. All I had to pay her was the Comcast bill and my cell phone. But I was like, oh, okay, that's like $300. But I made like anywhere between $2,000 a month as a retail manager. So technically, I should have a surplus, right? Math is mathing. $300 for the cell phone. $300 for cable. It's that. I don't even think it was that high at that time. This is probably like almost 20 years ago. So Comcast was maybe $250. My cell phone probably was less than $100. I had like the flip phone, Samsung, Sprint. So that might have been maybe $80. That's $300 a month. Where's the rest of the money? So on paper, I was plussing. Where's the rest of the money, Farrah? Okay, well, I worked. Y'all missed my story earlier. I was getting high to my own supply. I worked in retail, so I purchased everything in the store. I was buying everything and wouldn't allot for it. And Friday I would get paid. By Monday, I had spent most of my money. And I can't live off $300 for the next 2 weeks. But I was swiping, and not having discipline and no accountability for what I was spending. So somewhere in there, in your pluses, because y'all have the extra money, right? It's not in the savings account. It's not in like a money market account. So somewhere in there lacks accountability and discipline. Somewhere in there, there's some money that's going out that we're not keeping track of. And why we aren't keeping track of it? Because sometimes ignorance is bliss. We don't want to see the dysfunction. We don't want to recognize the shit we do that we're not supposed to do. I had to like pull the curtains back and go, girl, why you in the neck? Like, girl, you can't be her. Like you can't be that girl. Pull it together. And it was a journey. It was a journey. Like it didn't happen overnight. And I thank God for it because today I'm disciplined enough that if it was Farrah today, that was Farrah when she was like 26, I wouldn't be standing here. Like I wouldn't be able to have no money in my account. I had no financial discipline. Any money that sat in my account, I spent it. I was like, oh my God, and I never thought about the future. Mind you, if I had the financial mindset, maybe if my family came from money and my mom told me about wealth and saving and how to use money to go, hey, listen, every time you get paid, give me $500 so I could put it away from you. Every time you get paid, girl, take $500 and I could have bought a car. Mind you, I didn't have a car. I didn't say that, right? I grew up in Philadelphia. I did not have a car. I was paying a taxi. This was before Uber. I was paying a taxi to take me to work. Poor little rich girl. That's what my mom friends will call me. And I thought it was funny. But you poor with a rich girl mindset. What you doing? You throwing money out the drain. I was paying a guy $40 a day to take me to the mall where I was a retail manager. I had poor mindset about money. That was insane. But my mom never said, girl, you're making the wrong financial decisions. You can get a car at $300 a month plus insurance, and you're paying him $40 a day. But because I had the money, I didn't have no financial discipline, no plan, no budget. I was careless. And I didn't hold myself accountable, nor did my mom. She just was like, well, you making all this money, you need to pay the cable bill. I said, bet, I can pay the cable bill. But I wasn't paying me. I didn't put nothing away for nothing. Nothing. So our budget, when we look at those numbers and you go, Dad, where is the surplus? You need to ask yourself, well, where is the surplus? Because it's somewhere. If it's not investing, if it's not growing, then it's going into another business, making them money. And so you should have a surplus every month that you're putting into something else to make it make money. And usually it comes in what we're spending money on, which is, for me, was eating out. Was like my thing. Retail, therapy, and eating out. That was the thing. So next time we're going to bring our bank statements, and we're going to go through and circle, right? We're going to look at it, pull the curtain back, and identify the dysfunction, because it's usually there. It's usually there. Food. That's what I was thinking too. Food. It got to be food. Out to eat. That's usually the thing. It's usually something in there that you're like, oh, I'm going to swipe it. It's $80. It's $50. It's here. And you don't add up those little amounts. And next minute you know, you're like, well, where is the extra $500 I'm supposed to have? Where's the extra $1,000? And the more money you make, you just spend more money on the basic things. Like, so before you might like, well, I would spend $20 on lunch. So you make more money and go, and now I can spend $80 on lunch. Poor little rich girl. You just keep increasing your taste buds without the financial discipline, right? The more money you make, you just start increasing the habits. It just costs you more. You're like, well, I used to be very content at shopping at Art and B. That's where I worked back in the day, Art and B and BB. I started making more money. It's like, well, now I can shop at Nordstrom. The same basic t-shirt. Well, girl, why? Why your sneakers got it? Why? It's a poor man mindset. Poor little rich girl. I felt I needed to look and feel a certain way the more money I made, which does me no service, no good. It's not helpful, right? And so when I started to redo my budget, I started to look and see, well, girl, you got a closet full of clothes that got tags on that you ain't even wear. Go in there. Go shop there. I had to have really hard conversations with myself, me and God, because I didn't want to hear what nobody else had to say. I would get defensive, like my face. I don't want to hear that. I'm not trying. I'm fine. We don't take criticism very well. I know I don't, for the most part. But I'll take it from God, because He's the creator. I'll be like, okay, God, you done sat me here, something happening. I'm going to go in this closet, and I'm going to wear what I have in here. I'm going to pop these tags off these pants I bought 2 years ago. No, serious. All right, so why do we budget? That's why we budget. Budgeting is important. It's because it's a set of rules and guidelines to help you manage your money, to find out where the money is going. So we just had this whole talk, right? So now go back in again, and let's be honest and go, where is the money? Where's the surplus that you're supposed to have? Where is it? Do you overspend? Do the kids have like new pair of J's every week? Where is it in the food? Where is it? In the food. So what type of food?
Like groceries, because I have like 5 boys, so sometimes I'm spending anywhere between 1,500 to 2,500 a month on food.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that's not including out to eat. Yeah, that's just a rule. So with that, most of the time it ain't even no out to eat. I just have to make me some lunch.
Right. So it's the food. So in there, the food that you're buying, right? How, in a way, how can the food you're buying last longer or stretch you where you're not re-upping as much?
And I'm not seeing it. So that's why I'm like, it gotta be the food. Because you see, at first I put 2,000 and I put 1,000. But
well, what's this? That's heavy.
That's gas every week. Well, gas $100 a week for gas.
Oh, so this is your year total?
No, this is a month.
That's a month? So $400 a week on gas?
No, $100 a week. It's $400 a month.
Right, that's $400 a month on gas. So that's why I said this must be annual. That 4,000 then or something.
No.
Oh, that's the total.
This is the total.
Oh, because I just think gas equals 4,000. I said, girl, what you got? Where you try? Where? That's the surplus, girl.
Where you going?
What? Cancel that job. Don't go there. You driving to Florida every day.
Right.
So, I just seen gas at 4,000. So I was like, well, what is that? Okay, so gas $100 a week. That's kind of expensive. A day on a cab at 20. Okay. It was just flagrant and disrespectful with God's money. Okay. So now I'm like, girl, we ain't going back there. So if you really gonna be the rich girl, not the poor little rich girl, because you got poor man mindset. Okay, so
this is my life insurance. This is my rent and like my bills and stuff all together.
Okay.
That's my car note and that's my car
insurance. Disney for the children. And then somebody was like, girl, you got a smart TV, just streaming. So I was like, oh, I'm going to cut Comcast. Yeah. Buy Comcast. Now I only have Direct TV. It's like $160 something a month.
Apple TV, that's $9.99 a month. Then I got Philo, that's $25 a month. And then like with Philo, like it comes with like Disney and all that stuff on there. So
you got bundled it together. Okay.
Yeah. And then my internet, I only pay like $20 for my internet.
Okay, that's good.
And then that's it. And then like my light bill and my water bill.
My light bill. Right. Where's the surplus? You said the extra.
It's supposed to be 45, but I don't see that.
All right.
So I'm like,
you gotta find it.
I definitely gotta find it. So I know my issue is like me and Devin, we spend different.
Right.
So me.
But I know you. Where's your personal shopping? Where's the?
See, that's why I was like,
it's nothing next to here. All right.
Yeah.
But these need dollars.
Okay.
That's your homework.
Yeah, I'm about to put all that. So I'm like, I definitely need that. I'm like, between the two of us, he spends more just on himself, but it's me and the
right. So now for me in Target, Me and the kids, I bring them in on the situation. I'm like, when we go to Target, mommy can't spend more than $100. Okay. That's it. That's where we at. Baby, you ready to cry.
Yes. I know one day I went to BJ's and I was getting essential water because it's what Devin likes. I spent $200 just on water. I came back. He said, "What the hell?"
Baby, I wanted you to have the best water.
Exactly. I'm tired of water. Getting small cases.
The Fiji water is better. You know what I mean? You start to establish these expensive habits that have no real bearing. It's fake. It's fictitious. It's in our head, right? Because we'll go anywhere over. Oh, you want to grab it? Now, the one thing too, when you have to think about budgeting, is you want to first include. That's how we separate it first between your needs and your wants, because a lot of this comes in the want. Yeah. And then you can budget out your want. You just have to stick to the budget for the want, right? So if you're like, you know what, I want to get my hair done once a month. I want to get my hair done twice a month. Whatever that want is, you budget it out and you just have to stick to it. Okay, yep, I'm going to go to Target twice a month. Every time I go to Target, my discretionary income, I'm only spending $300. If I go over $300, I don't need it. I'm going to wait till next month so I don't blow my budget this month. And you build those habits and those disciplines over and over again so then that you can start holding yourself accountable. If you don't have a budget and every time you go, you just spending, there's no discipline in there. And then you won't have anything extra. You won't. And I had to like really, really kind of reel that in. And that was pre-investigation, because I knew money was going to dry up. And I'm like, hey, we got to stick tight on the budget now so we can be prepared, because we don't know how much money is really going to come in. So we had to be like, okay, every time we go out, even if we go to dinner, we always leave with food. We never even eat the food. Right. So we were like, all right, well, you want to get the stuffed chicken. I eat off your plate anyway. I'm just going to eat off your plate and get sides. Why we both getting the stuffed chicken? We both getting the macaroni and cheese. We both getting a dessert. We both getting a salad. And we leaving with a full course meal that sits in the refrigerator for 4 days and nobody don't eat it anyway. Because then we don't want leftovers. This poor people mindset. It's wasteful. Because we have extra money that, oh, that's what I should do. We're not being good stewards of it. We're not being responsible with it. So even your wants, you want to budget it out. Hey, we go out, let's only spend $200, $100. What's a reasonable amount of money to spend when we go out? And stick to it. Don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel triggered. No, we only spending this. Because at the end of the month, we got to find the money to invest and take that money to put it somewhere else. If we're just swiping and swiping and swiping and swiping, we don't have any idea what's happening, you know what I mean? Then we can't then complain and say, oh my God, I don't make the money. I need to make more money. This is a totaling 7 left over, but then you was like, hey, I should have.
I don't ever really add my VA because that's just, to me, it's like free money.
I got it. So your surplus is what? Should be that then.
No, it's this.
The 27.
7,000.
So that's your surplus, girl?
Yeah.
You doing good. Where is that?
It's in my bank.
That's
I'm
good.
good at budgeting, kind of, so I don't really.
So it should be 10 extra?
Yeah.
That you doing? Good, girl. What's what I'm saying? What you got? What's going on in here? What you doing with the 10?
Nothing. I want to invest in stuff, so I'm trying to figure it out now.
So this is it. You do hair when you go out.
Yeah, I do my own hair, so I just put my little own little budget.
Got it. But where's like the stuff we like to do? You don't do nothing for yourself. You don't go to the movies, dinner. You don't buy your shoes, nothing. So this is your budget, not his. It's not a household budget. So you by yourself. Okay, girl. Nice. Oh yeah, so girl, you good. Kinda, right? You just can't be fearful. You have to do it, because with inflation, this is going to be worthless.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
You can't just sit money there. So that's why people with money invest. If they're making 6% over their money, they're happy. Inflation is 3%. Sit down in three and say, in 3 months, I'm gonna make power moves. You have this in 3 months, then you can start shopping. You leverage this and your credit, and you can get you a building and subdivide it out. But you got to hire then a team of people who know more than you, right? You're like, well, I'm not a salon manager, right? I don't want to manage people. I just want to do my client's hair. Right? So you get a right. So get a salon manager. You can even profit share with them depending on their motivation. And you bring them in, manage this for me, get the people together, set up the system, the monthly payments, if they need towels and whatever, you manage the salon. Then maybe you invest in products, right? You got options, girl. So that's your 3-month goal. So in 3 months, you're going to have that. But I'm going to see you in 3 months. We do this. All right, what's your goal?
To save 300, but to have 900.
Good. All right. And so once you get to your goal, what is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to do? Could you leverage that to make more money for yourself in your business or anything else? Or maybe you need to do another quarter.
I'll probably just start putting it into like a retirement fund or something.
Okay. I wouldn't get an IRA or nothing like that. I would probably get real estate because it increases in value more than an IRA. They taking your money buying real estate. Grand no more. I can't do that. Now she started to live off 50, 60 grand. She started to get a better car. I want a nicer apartment. I want more trips. I'm looking online. She all over the world. So the surplus as the business is growing could pay for your people, to pay for marketing, to pay for, she wanted an event space. Say every quarter, I'm going to give myself a 20% bonus over what the business did. You can reward yourself. You are an employee of the business, so you got to treat yourself like an employee. If the business does this, I'm going to give myself a 20% bonus, a 15% bonus, and I'm going to reward myself with the growth of the business. Don't you pay for rent? Yeah, it's personal. You don't pay rent? Okay, friend. Okay. So this is it. That's all you pay? Okay. What about hair, nails? Food is definitely mine. I've even downloaded a tracker on my. If I spend over $300 and I put that in a separate account, my Uber Eats and all that stuff is connected to one account, and I only put a certain amount of money in there. It's not connected to nothing where it's a large amount of money. It's like I only keep like $300 in there. If I get an alert that it falls under $50, I'd be like, bitch, then you ain't need it. That's what you get. You ain't need it. No comparison, because that's all you got Monday through Friday. And the lunch in school is trash. So of course, mommy looked like she did it. I mean, I could do a little something, but I ain't cooking Thanksgiving dinner. No. But you know what I mean? So you gotta understand your triggers. Where is the money? Where are you overspending? Find the things. I don't care if you gotta trick yourself. It should be money left over. We spend way too much on bull crap.
I'm gonna have to go to my bank statement.
I know, because you said you know what I'm saying? Stupid. Not being a good steward of God's money. In the surplus. Yeah, I don't know. You got Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Peacock, and cable, girl.
And cable. That is way too much.
And you saying 20, but I think some of them is more than 20.
I know. Depending on how many accounts with Netflix, because you pay account to account now. So however many accounts you have.
She go,
I know. I looked at Hulu. They was $30. I was like, why is Hulu $30?
Look, she's over 20. Shit, go bring the bank statement, friend, next time. Let's get the real numbers, because I don't. Listen, let me see. Peacock.
I gotta bring my stuff.
Right, I need to bring my bank statement.
I don't even know what's coming out. At this point, I'm like, wait, I want
to get better.
It's crazy.
700. This okay.
Why does this one phone? How many? Nah, that's like 5 lines, and then it's me by myself. This Devin, the kids, they iPad.
Okay, they all on one plane.
Okay. They asses might have to get cut. It's like, no, all right.
Man, everybody get a food stamp phone. The one they giving out free.
No, hey, like for real.
The one with the free minutes on them.
Even if you do it for a period,
Hands
even if you do
down.
it for a period of time, right? So again, I operate in quarters. So I say, well, for this first quarter, I know I need to save this and stick to this budget. Guess what we doing this quarter? These 3 months, we're not doing this, this, and this. So I can have a surplus of money. So even if you cut something down for a particular quarter or 2 quarters, right? Because you're trying to get to someplace financially that can grow you money. But if every day is this, and sometimes the kids they'll complain and make you feel bad for a period of time,
Right.
but forget them. What they know?
Exactly.
Shit, they ain't nobody.
Not right now. Not right now.
Not right now. Get on
I
up
know
out of
this.
here.
Yeah.
So if you do $500 a month for the kids and go, listen, each of y'all only get $100. If you spend it all the first trip, that's on you.
That's it. Come asking me
Make
questions.
them responsible too. I just went through that with TJ. Him and ET got a weekly call because he was his ass was connected to his what's that game they be playing? Minecraft or something?
And Roblox.
Roblox. That ninja was installing. I said, what is all this Apple? That ninja was like $40, $50. Shopify, the V. Well, you ain't do the business side yet, right? That's just personal. Oh, girl, what? This supposed to be the business right here for me. This was me maybe 6 years ago. No, girl, we gotta get the business, do it just like Biddy did. You need to know how much this you need to run. Like, what is it to run the business, right? So Biddy says, you know what, I need $2,900 to run my business. That's rent, cable, utility, school. All right, Ken. All right.
Unless he put mine on there. You put mine on there.
Look, she wouldn't even know.
She wouldn't even know.
You didn't put mine on there?
He ran my ad, so he's on the ads.
Okay.
You got to run ads?
So for your business, your marketing budget don't come out of there.
I do quick weaves and wigs.
But she has a kid salon.
You do? You can talk to my dog likes to do hair and she goes viral a lot.
That's right.
Let me budget for her, cause you know my finances.
But you got the money now. It's somewhere in here.
It's there.
Right. It is in there.
I had an amazing time at the Financial Empowerment Workshop today. I learned that I need to figure out where the hell my money is at. So I have not done a budget in quite some time. So Miss Farah made us dig deep into our bank accounts and like, hey, you saying you're making this kind of money, but where is it at? Where are you spending it? So I was able to save over $1,000 today just by writing down my expenses, knowing where that money is going. So I'm excited about the next class. And if you were not here, you definitely missed out on some great information. So tap in next time to find out where your money is at. I saved over $1,000 today just by sitting in this class. How much? 1,000. Over 1,000.
Hi, my name is Sasha, and I had a very, very fundamental experience here at Farah's workshop for financial empowerment. I learned a lot, mainly about having a better financial mindset, and I also learned about budgeting and how it can really change your life and impact your business and your life. And I saved over $600 just by attending this event today, and I'm super excited on learning more and attending more classes. I'm ready to just, come and learn how to reinvent my whole financial situation.
And how much did you say?
Over $600.
Hey, how much?
Over $600.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hi everyone, I'm Megan. I just attended Farah's Financial Empowerment Workshop, and when I say it was a 10 out of 10, I learned how to be financially independent in my business and also in my personal. I saved over $600 coming here because she taught me how to save and to not put stuff into things that we didn't need extra. I really recommend it for the next one. and make sure you sign up for the next one.
How much you save?
Over $600 today, for sure. Easy. I'm back to workshop. I done saved $2,000. I still have to find 11,000, but it's okay. Catch me at the next one. Bye. So I am here at the Financial Empowerment Workshop. And when I tell you I recommend it's a 10 out of 10, you need to be at the next one. Miss Farah just helped me save $2,000 in my business and $600 in my personal. So if you missed this workshop, you really need to get on another one. It was amazing.
How much did you say?
So in all, $2,600. 2,000 in my business and 600 in my personal.
That's a good number.
It's a great number because I'm really missing a whole lot, but I found some. So this was an amazing class, and if you need help with budgeting, this is where you need to be. Meet me at the next one. Bye.
Nephew.
1 2 mic check 1 2 1 2 mic check 1 2 1 2. All right, guys, this was super exciting. A super exciting event that happened. We just closed up on our first financial empowerment workshop. Let me tell you, this has been a passion project of mine that's been in the works for years, and it finally came out of my brain and into fruition as a physical thing. And so I'm so excited that the ladies were able to unlock a lot of their financial trauma and fear to get them to the other side, right? Identifying where those financial triggers were, seeing that, hey, it is money here, but I don't know where it is. So this was super exciting for me, that it is a thing that our community needs. And so I will see you at the next one and the next one and the next one after that. So please lock into the financial empowerment workshops that we're having. They are free, guys. It is my gift to you. I'm taking my story, my trauma, in helping you overcome yours. So lock in, like, share, subscribe, right? Whatever this is going to be, and tap into the financial empowerment workshops. It's your girl, Miss Fab Financial. It's free.